Hi and welcome to Nerdy Gamers. The game today we're going to be looking at is Drains as part of the Indie Underdog Pack bundle. For more information about the developers and the game itself, you can look in the description below. Okay, let's get started then. Now the first thing, I've just been playing this for a little while just so I've got a little impression of how it plays. And this is your character, Gobby, and as you see he runs around, jumps, he can do a little roll. You get a high attack, a low attack. Now this game has some similarities and basis, so like on a RPG game. You can run around, as you can see. We've got our first enemies. Oh, let's just get out of there. And let's see if we hit him. Loses the health from this health bar above his head. And then he dies, and we can gain some experience and skill from there. Now I don't know if you'd seen, a little ball had just fallen off the edge. And with pressing the L key I was able to grab hold of it. Now it uses a WASD for movement, J and K for attack, U gives you a roll, well, it would do, and L allows you to sort of draw in some of the experience orbs and special orbs that are too far away. We use space for jump. Now what we got to do is make it over to here because this stuff we can't sit on. A little bit of jerky movement as we're resting on this platform. We're keeping up, but it's just sort of noticeable. And we now got to try and fight. Problem is, I am finding I keep pressing my keys, but the character doesn't always respond as quickly as I hope they would. So there's a little bit of a sluggish reaction on the gameplay itself. Now I've just pressed L several times there, but it didn't seem to be working. Now you can't actually swim, but what you can do, if you see this, you can double jump and get a little bit of momentum. Also, to me, I've got this computer, pretty much everything switched off, and I've tried to set all the CPUs so this is running as fast as possible, and I find this still a little bit sluggish. Just use the special ability there, because I was getting a little bit overwhelmed because I'm not really causing that much damage. Now to have a look at my character, I've just pressed enter and it will show you the different moves that I can perform. So here we go. Attack A is I press J 4 times, attack B press K 3 times. Twister uses one of the special orbs, and one of the orbs, as you can see, it says orbs 1, and attack C is JKJJ, and we're a level 4 character. We've got 160 health, and it's still going to be a little while before we get to the next level. So as you can see, I performed the JKJJ, and it's unfortunately it's at very low levels, like first level you only get a simple JK move, which kind of, on top of the sluggish controls, just makes it incredibly hard and feels just completely wrong. Now let's have a little exploration. Looks like we kind of got to get down here. Looks like we've entered sort of like a shady area now. And now we're getting one of the cutscenes. They're not too many, but they are around every so often. A little bit of glitching there with this tube coming out the back of his head. And there are some graphical issues I've noticed with the game, such as being able to see through the terrain at times. Very fuzziness on, say, shadows, for instance. It's not terrible, but it's just kind of piles up, and it can be a bit distracting sometimes. Now there we go. This is a save point just here. It's a bit hard to understand where everything is, and there we go, we're coming out. As you can see, just down along here, this graphical area, the anti-aliasing and some of the texture work on it does leave quite a bit to be desired. And this was designed more for, see here, those footsteps look perfectly normal, but when you get on the different shaded area, they haven't set their transparencies properly on their graphics. And this was done making the Talk 3D engine, so it's not something they've written themselves. And one of the other bits is loading between levels is very lengthy and slow. I mean, I have seen some lengthier games, and one of the worst offenders I think for it was the ship. This is not brilliant, but it's not great either. Now, as a comparison to some of the other games in the Indie Underdog Pack, I would definitely say this is one of the weakest of the groups. Just telling us we can now enter the world map. Do you want to travel to this level? Yes. And we went through all that massive loading, just to get that screen to say, do you want to enter this map? And then we've got to reload it all over again. And I think this is one of the limitations of the engine they're using. But I don't know for sure. It just feels really slow, really sluggish. I mean, I've only played sort of like that previous level for 5-10 minutes. There's a couple of cutscene interactions. There we go, we've managed to load up the next level, and it looks surprisingly much like the previous level, with the same glitches. And I do wonder, one of the glitches is if you come out over this hill, or one of the hills very similar to it, the camera angle just there. See there? Right through it. And also, if you kill one of the enemies just over here, the orbs can actually roll down the hill and completely out of your reach, and just literally go off the map. And it's like a quicksandy area. As you can see, it looks horrible when we try and do the movement through it. So yeah, so this is Drains. It's for some group of people working on something, it's not bad. I mean, you can play it, but this is definitely not a game I would have spent, say, $4 myself. If you want to view the other games as all like 5 games for $4, you spend $1 on each of the game and you get this one for free, it's perfectly fine. I probably wouldn't spend any money on getting this game itself, but as part of the bundle, it's worth to maybe just have a look. But to be honest, it takes up 2.5 gig on my hard drive. I could put a whole bunch of other indie games which are a lot better than this on it. So my advice, don't worry about this game. It's there. If you want to check it out, feel free. But there are a lot of other better games inside that bundle, well worth playing. Okay, this has been Drains. I hope you like my video. I'll see you next time.